having a small backyard doesn't mean you can't have the pool and the luxurious backyard that you've always wanted. Today I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I can't wait to walk you through all the elements in this small but luxurious backyard. So when our client first came back here, he was looking at the space and not depressed, but it was like really sadness, like what's possible? Like I want a luxury backyard. And you look at it in these before photos and you see that it truly is small. There's just not a lot of seemingly potential. And that's the fun thing in design is that you can start peeling those back and you can see with even in the excavation phase, started highlighting different zones by having a sunken seating area. And then even an area that's cut into the existing patio cover to bring the water closer to the house. And then you also have this raised element by the fireplace. All those create individual spaces that really start to expand the outdoor space. Every yard needs an outdoor kitchen, and this one is no exception, even though it's small. So I'm gonna highlight a couple things here that I think are so important to consider, especially in a small space. So the first is the more basic. I don't think I need to go into the detail for you, the basic outdoor grill, but this client really had a love for that charcoal taste. And so this is a really creative way to actually kind of hide it and integrate into the space, which is a simple notch. But one of the things that I want you to notice is how this is facing. So two things. One, it's a beautiful thing when you're consistently barbecuing outside to face everything that you spent the money on. So that's why we have it here. We have the grill facing this way, but there's another simple reason that we did it this way. And if you actually come on this side, I just don't like how components look. So look at these windows behind me. So if they had the grill here, you'd be seeing kind of the more functional elements. And now you're actually looking at a bar, an actual island. And so that's one thing that we're always trying to do at Foxterra is really make sure that you're looking at something that's aesthetically pleasing as possible. And this is why we really focused on having this kind of location and arrangement this way. Now, a second thing, you'll notice in the before photos that this cover was actually not part of the original house structure. By adding it, even changing the elevation, it gives us actually three things to do. First of all, it gives us a beautiful shade element. Second, we're here in Nevada, in Las Vegas area, and so it gets extremely hot. And I'm gonna show you, just so you can make sure and capture these nozzles up here are all misters. I can't turn them on right now because they're still in the winterized process. But they pour out in a nice mist. So this structure gives us a place to actually implement those in. And then the third is lighting. You can see the lighting here at night. Check it out. It gives a beautiful glow over the sunken seating area. And if you didn't have a structure like this, you'd be very limited in the options you had over it. Structure, location really brought this outdoor kitchen to life. A key element in this yard is definitely the sunken seating area. And I'm gonna actually highlight 5 different things in the sunken seating area that makes it luxurious, functional, and also cost effective. Fire height should usually land about 12 inches, 12 to 14 inches. And then the seat height. So when you're having seat height, remember when you're building it, or if you have a contractor building it and you're not having us design it, make sure they get it the right height, because when they're building it, you're gonna see this and it's gonna feel really low. But everybody forgets, at least a lot of people forget the cushion. The cushion adds about 4 inches, so you want this to land about 16 to 18 inches. In fact, this is a good way to visualize it. Here's a normal seating chair, and this should be, yeah, look at that, it's perfect. I'm imagining this is 16 to 18 inches with the standard seat height. So don't forget the cushion. Don't raise this to the height and then you add a cushion and it ends up being too tall for you. That's one thing. The second thing on a more cost-effective side is that for our fire features, a lot of stuff we often show is actually slabs, but this is a great way to save cost, is instead of slabs, we have tile pieces. This is Marmi, M-A-R-M-I, from Arizona Tile, but it just gives a really nice facade without spending all the extra on the installation of porcelain. Another beautiful thing too is that the functionality of tile, and this one, actually forgot the name, what's the name of this? Petra, Italia, also from Arizona Tile, is a great place. Instead of putting plaster, having this tile just keeps the residue down from water, dripping down and getting soaked, and it's just really nice. Now, visually, the way you're able to make this look as big as possible is you have this floating. So you'll notice like all this is floating, and you can't see it now, but at night there's a whole area underneath that's lit up. It just allows your eye to kind of visualize the depth as if it's almost going all the way to the back of the cushions, instead of it being front and center here. And then the last thing I forgot to mention depth-wise, it's debatable, this is just our preference, is to have it about 20 to 24 inches away from where you're sitting. And the reason is, you want to be able to lounge and put your feet here. If it was much further than that, I would be stretching to get this. So having this ability to kind of prop your feet up, I'm 5'12", so this is perfect for my height. But just think about that. It's really like a great space and it's not too far away from the fire feature itself. So as I'm leading to the next space, make sure and hit the link in the description box below. Book a free design consultation with us. We would love to help you out, just like this one. This backyard felt like it had no potential. Now look at it. I haven't even finished showing you. So make sure and hit the link in the description box below. And it was funny, as I was bringing this up, I wanted to point out a feature. Our preferred builders, which is our builders we've worked with hand in hand, are incredible. And even like this, something so simple, and this is something that is the drain. Typically you have these ugly $5 green pucks that you get from Home Depot. This contractor did it right by having the tile basically slanted, put it all the way down the center, so it almost looks like a grout line, and those are details that matter so much, especially when you're trying to create a luxury look. I'm gonna show you something really cool behind me that's hidden in front of you. Ready? How cool is that? A little rain curtain, I was gonna say rainforest, hidden in the patio cover. And that's why I'm so excited. It's a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it off here in a second, talk through some of the elements in the back behind me, and then I'll turn it back on so you can really see the day, but then at night too, it looks amazing. I'm so excited to talk about this area because it's small, but there's so many cool things happening in this space. So first of all, a step up. Raised elevation makes a big difference even in a small space. All of a sudden you feel like you're in a room. This defines a space, so consider a raised area. Now the structure behind me, remember what this yard looked like, by the way. This thing was truly feeling like desert, like a desolate space. As soon as you add some structural elements like this fire feature, the life comes alive. You have seating, talking to the client earlier, and they said they actually have a couple of people that usually sit here in the day or in the afternoon when it's shaded. In the morning, maybe sit on the other side. There's so many spaces to enjoy. So you have obviously the functionality for having a TV inside, fire feature, a beautiful visual to look like. But there's two things happening in the patio cover above me. One is the solid section, which I love. When you have a solid section, you can actually integrate fans, you can kind of do different kind of lights in those. And so that's what this whole section is. It's perfect for when it's raining out or you just want to get full, maximize the shade. So that's the first section. The second section is this lattice style. It's all aluminum, so the maintenance is almost zero. And it gives a little bit of light, and it's the perfect way to integrate that hidden water feature. If we had a solid one, it'd be a little more noticeable, but here, because of the slats, you almost don't notice it at all. And then this behind me does a really great thing. It blocks out the boring stucco wall and creates this true like L-shaped canopy. And how cool is this? We can't take credit for it. I gotta say, this is the client's idea, which I love. And it's suspended perfectly so I can walk underneath it as a 5'12" adult male and I don't hit my head. But it's perfect for that kind of just artistic piece. I thought it was an amazing idea. Added. So we have the raised section, we have the patio cover, the fire feature, the TV, and of course a spa. Now this is so great. I love this. I mean, look where this is integrated with the yard. You're sitting in this. This probably will seat easily. In fact, let me measure it off. Okay. So this is an 8x5. I had to do my detailed measurements since I bring my measuring tape, but it's an incredible 6x9. I just got corrected by the contractor behind me. But truly, this is a 6x9, great space. It probably comfortably sits, that's 54 square feet, about 8 people comfortably, 10 people depending on their size. Water feature, I love this because there's something so simple about this water feature. It's just truly a water shear. We have 3 walls. We have this one I'm standing on now, which is part of the bond beam and coping. Then we have this beautiful black porcelain tile, and this elevation is higher than the rest, and it also is thinner than the rest. So you start creating a little bit of intrigue with just the shape of the wall. And then the most dynamic wall is this one I'm standing on. It's probably not the best way to show you, but I'm just showing you. But having the 3D texture of the marble tile, the way it's so wide and beefy, this section I'm on is almost 2 feet wide. So it's really chunky. And it just creates a lot of really great intrigue in the space. And also you'll notice at night, all the different layers of the wall, height-wise, texture-wise, will pick up light in a different way, and it's really beautiful. Check it out at night. So there's 2 things in this pool that we did to maximize the visibility that it was as large as possible. In Las Vegas, Nevada, you can only do 600 square feet. So you really have a lot that you're limited by. So the first thing is, if you stay there, I'll show you. These were existing pillars that were part of the house, and typically you would actually build the pool in alignment with the pillars. This one, we shot it inside, brought it closer to the doors, and it brought the water just feeling like it was like connected with the house. So that's one thing. Changing the shape, bringing it a little bit closer really helped kind of maximize the feeling of the size. So the second detail in this pool to really maximize the size was the color. A black car is the most shiny compared to a white car. Same with the pool. You get to do a dark bottom, it makes it reflective. fact, if I walk around, you'll probably even see my reflection a little bit. And so what a black does, it reflects the surrounding environment. So there's just more interest and intrigue, in my opinion, with a darker pool, especially in a smaller space. It helps pick up different elements and just the geometry and the structures, I should say. It really picks those up well. Thank you for watching this yard tour, and make sure to like and subscribe because we have so many more videos that I can't wait to walk you through and show really cool backyards from residence to resort.